Well, today, I want to explore the topic of consistency. Does consistency matter? You see, in order to create and experience a more expansive life, we must create a new pattern of thinking, a mental atmosphere that is aligned with our desired result. This mental atmosphere is the same thing as a mold. If you were going to create a statue, a bronze statue, what you would do is you would first create a mold, and then you would pour the hot liquid into that mold, and then it would cool down. You would take the mold away, and you would have the creation. The same thing is true as you create. You create a mental mold, a mental atmosphere, a mental vision, idea, painting, sculptor of the life that you choose. And when you create that pattern of thinking becomes the creative power within you. You see, the process for changing your mental atmosphere is to build up idea by idea, thought by thought, emotion by emotion, and action by action, and alignment to your new desired and intended result. In other words, you've created the result in your mind, what you desire. And now you align so that every thought is in alignment with it. Every word you speak is in alignment with it. Every feeling you have is in alignment with it. And every action you have is in alignment with it. That is the process of creating the mental atmosphere. When we create this new mental atmosphere, we're literally replacing our old conscious and unconscious pattern of thoughts. You see, we don't have to uninstall what we thought prior. We're just creating a new software, a new thought atmosphere on top of it. And when we create that new atmosphere, the old dissipates into the nothingness from which it came. That's our work. And let me give you this little piece of advice. Any conflict in your thought pattern negates or minimizes your ability to create and direct a new creative outcome. So you see, to be able to think in complete alignment with what you want is critical. If you are not thinking 100% in alignment, you're either going to negate your intended result, or you're going to mitigate your intended result, or you're going to postpone or lengthen the amount of time in order for you to do that. When you break it down like this is one of my favorite things, is the idea that 90% of what we do when we're speaking is we're complaining or gossiping. Do you get that? We complain and gossip. Now, if you want to stop complaining, you do that by saying, I'm going to stop complaining. And one of the ways you could do that is you put a rubber band around your wrists. And you go and you're going to try to go 21 days without complaining. And every time you complain, and you will, you switch the rubber band from one wrist to the other. Every time you complain, you move it back and forth. And when you can go 21 days without switching that rubber band, you will have created a new habit of thinking where complaining is no longer there. When you do that and you stop complaining, you enhance your creative process. You see, truly successful creators maintain an atmosphere where there is no doubt that this is now mine. They expect to succeed and are willing to take any measure necessary to achieve their goal. That, my friends, is the power of decision. Decision means to decide and not leave anything to chance, but to know the result. And if you've made the decision, you hold the mental atmosphere. You hold a state where there is no doubt. And because you have no doubt, you have fully committed to it. And you expect, you demand to exceed, and you are committed to do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I realized that I had an addiction to sugar. As healthy as I am, I realized it. 2 months ago, I made a conscious decision. I will not choose to eat sugar. Period. I still eat sugar that may be in ketchup, that may be in some things, but I don't eat a lot of processed food. But I do know that sugar's in things. So I don't eat anything that has corn syrup, fructose syrup, added sugar. And in doing so, I've noticed how my body has changed. I've gotten actually a little bit leaner because I dropped about 3 pounds, and I realized that those 3 pounds were the result of sugar. Most people have a lot more than 3 pounds because I was conscious. I'm just not eating ice cream before I go to bed. I'm not eating my favorite cookies every day. I'm not eating my chocolate-covered raisins that I would have handfuls of every day. I'm not trying to fool you. I had a Sugar Jones. Even though I was a vegetarian, even though I was eating healthy, unprocessed foods, I had a Sugar Jones. But I made a decision that I didn't want to be addicted to sugar, and I didn't like the impact it was having on me and what sugar meant. So I made a decision and I said, no more. And I've been in situations where people tempt me, Lee, just have one. I say no. I've decided. You see, we often negate our creative desire by affirming our current state of being. One of the things I know is that being persistent and consistent is how we build a mental atmosphere. And when we do so, we take back our creative power. This is the key to everything: persistency and consistency. I've been in the gym for over 50 years. That's why I am able to do what I'm able to do at the age in which I am, which most men my age cannot do. I have a persistent and consistent workout process. I have a persistent and consistent eating process. I have a persistent and consistent meditation process. I have a persistent and consistent deep breathing process. I have a persistent and consistent process of interacting with my wife. I have a persistent and consistent process of expanding my mind and how I look at the world every single day. I'm always looking for new ideas to expand into. It's a part of my life. I don't do it for a week and stop. I do it every day, and I make it a part of my life until I make a conscious choice to replace it by doing something different that I feel will give me even a greater and greater and greater benefit than I'm already receiving. You see, we are most effective in creating our new chosen and desired life when we maintain a consistent state of heart, body, and mind coherence. In other words, we align our thoughts with our physical body and its movement and our state of being, our emotional state. When we bring ourselves into heart, mind, and body coherence, we are accelerating our ability to create and the time it takes to create the new desired belief that we choose to have in our lives. To create a belief, it's pretty simple. We must align our thoughts, our words, our actions, and our feelings toward a specific and directed result. Hold them persistently and consistently, consciously and unconsciously. And that's a mouthful, my friends. But that right there is the fullness, the allness of the creative process. You're creating a new belief. You get the idea. You start aligning your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. You hold them persistently and consistently, consciously and unconsciously. You see, to become our greatest self, we must first imagine it, believe it, live it, allow it, and to know we're worthy of it, for it to become our experience. Something that people really don't realize. The reason most people don't have what they desire is they don't feel they're worthy of it. If they felt they were worthy of it, they would decide and they would commit whatever it took, and they would hold that persistently and consistently to achieve their desired result. But we will not commit if we do not feel worthy. Worthiness is key. And let me tell you, you were born worthy. We've been domesticated to believe that we're not enough. Truth is, you are enough. You are unique. And you deserve, and it is your birthright to create whatever you desire to have your most special and perfect life experience in this world today. We come back to the basic premise that is agape. Nothing changes until we change, because everything begins and ends with us. So realize, stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Imagine who you desire to be. Build a belief. Become that man, that woman, that person. Live it, love it, be grateful for it, allow it. I promise you, you will create a life that when you leave your body, you'll say, it was the most fulfilling, beautiful experience I could ever imagine. Your life, your choice. I believe in you. Believe in yourself as much as I do. Until next time, much love.